Hi, good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here in just a few moments. Ku and I just came from another meeting, so we're going to begin to get a little set up. If you could all please mute your cameras, mute yourselves, that would be great. And we're going to get set up now. Oh, I think Ku's here. Okay, great. So we're going to just take a minute or two.
Thank you for calling AAA, where members come first. For English, press.
There we go.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Erica, for starting us off.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm just pulling up the worksheet. Let's see.
And I have the agenda up too, Erica.
Oh, you do? Perfect. Did you want to share your screen?
Oh,
or no?
Let's see. Well, I can go ahead and yeah, let me share. So we'll just share quickly what we'll be doing this morning, everyone. So so you should see here. So we have today, Erica will do a quick introduction. We'll talk about the purpose of our meeting today, and then we'll go over the student resources, financial aid resource for you all in our Canvas section, and then we'll walk through the estimated budget worksheet with you all today. Okay, so we'll go ahead and kick it off. My name is Kuyang Vigil, and welcome. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, the last day of June. And my name is Kuyang Vigil, and I'm the EOP coordinator and advisor. Erica.
Thanks, Ku. Hi, everyone. I'm Erica Mullicane. I am an academic advisor for Case and for Puerta. So lovely to see you all this morning. Here we are, week 2. Oh, my goodness. So we will be helping out and showing you step-by-step in our tutorial, our live tutorial on how to do your estimated budget worksheet.
Awesome. So the purpose of our estimated budget worksheet today is we wanted to make sure that for our students who are here with us for Summer Bridge, that you all will have one message coming from both Erica and I, and we are part of the financial aid committee for Summer Bridge. And so thank you again for joining us today. We'll walk you through the estimated budget worksheet. And we also do want to let you know that if you don't have a financial aid award yet, please don't fret. It could be that, you know, you submitted your financial aid to-do list items and that the financial aid office is still processing, or there may have been some errors in your application. And so just to make a note, today after our estimated budget worksheet, from 1 to 5 p.m., we do have our financial aid representatives here with who will be on drop-ins to connect with our Summer Bridge students. And so as you are going through your own estimated budget worksheet in your financial aid award and you have any questions, please know that we do have the experts on drop-ins today for you all. So you can go into your Summer Bridge Canvas course for this particular day and access the Zoom link for the drop-ins, okay? So I just want to share that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Anything else to add, Erica?
I was just going to go into a little bit more of the purpose, but did you want to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I got a little excited.
You're good. This is teamwork. You're good. You're good, Erica. Go for it.
Okay, thanks, Ku. So, okay, so the estimated budget worksheet, I'm actually going to share with you all what it looks like so you can just see it. I'm a visual person, so I like to assume that others may need that kind of thing too, where it's important that you actually see kind of what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that one up really quick. Let's see, here we go. Okay, and let's see. Screen, and then we will talk a little bit about it. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So why are we doing this, first and foremost? What is the point of this tutorial workshop and estimated budget worksheet? So the reason why the Summer Bridge Committee has decided that this isn't key and essential in your growing at Sonoma State University is because many of us, if not all of us, want to make sure that we are accurate when it comes to our financials. And that is a key part of being an academic and an adult student, making sure that you have enough money to pay for tuition, that you understand the financial aid lingo and terminology when it comes to the difference between loans, grants, and scholarships, understanding what money you have coming in and what money you have going out. So this worksheet is to help you, and our tutorial is to help you step by step so you can be prepared with the accuracy that you need for the upcoming academic year and fall semester. So a couple of things here that we want to make sure that you have on your end side by side is your financial aid award letter. Okay, you're going to be utilizing that to go over the sheet. And then the other point of this is to make sure when we look at our financial aid award letter and that you're understanding that lingo as Ku and I are going through it with you, is that you need to know if your financial aid package is going to cover the cost of attendance. So your cost of attendance is your tuition, and then it also depends on your housing. Are you planning to live on campus that first semester? Are you planning to live at home with your parents? So thinking of all of those things. You also need to be thinking about, are you paying rent in some way? So those things all come into play when it comes to your cost of attendance. And we want to make sure that your financial aid package, you understand if it covers your complete cost of attendance or if it does not. Now, if it does not, that means that you will owe out of pocket, okay? If there is money that you owe the university, you're going to be paying out of pocket. Now, you also need to know how you're planning to do that, okay? Where will you be getting that money from? Do you have a job? Do you have savings? Those types of things. Is, you know, a rich uncle going to help you out? Like, what's going to happen there? You need to make sure that you're very aware of that. And then on the flip side of that, maybe you have more than enough because you got those scholarships, you worked your butt off, and then you also were awarded grants. And then maybe you got enough, more than enough to cover your cost of attendance. Now, with covering a cost of attendance, you can actually, you might actually get a refund check. So how that works is your financial aid package is dispersed, okay? And then everything is paid, tuition and whatnot, until it is exhausted. And if you have money left over for that cost of attendance, then you receive a refund check, okay? Now, you may have enrolled in direct deposit, so that it comes through to your checking or banking account, okay? So there's that. And there's also, it's a to-do list item, so if you want to do that, you absolutely can. And so that's the main purpose. I don't know why I'm trying to put those two together. But that is the main reason why we are doing this workshop, and this is why the estimated budget worksheet is quite important. Now, the key word here is estimate, okay? Nothing here is quite set in stone. As Ku had mentioned, some of you may not have your financial aid package ready yet, and that could be for a number of things. One of those things I absolutely want you to make sure, check your FAFSA application or your CADA application. Make sure you put the right school. So some folks, maybe you were like, I'm between a couple, and you put them all down. Make sure that you have Sonoma State there. Make sure Sonoma State is the one school because that's where you're going, okay? Because who knows, that information may have actually gotten rerouted to SF State or to Sac State. So let's make sure that it's SSU, all right? So I think that's it for purpose now. I'm going to stop sharing for right now, and then Ku, did you have anything you would like to add to that?
No, I don't. I just think that you're such an amazing professor and teaching our students, Erica. Thank you.
Ku, I love you. I swear, Ku, let me just tell you all really quick, okay? Since I've started, Ku has been such a mentor to me. She's just wonderful. She's a wonderful advisor and just a great friend and a wonderful colleague. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you so much for delving deeper into the purpose of why we have our estimated budget worksheet session today. So thank you for the love, our Summer Bridge leaders. Before we go delve deeper into the estimated budget worksheet, we wanted to share with you all, how do you access that that worksheet, okay? And so let me go ahead and share my screen with you all. So what you'll want to do is log into your Canvas course, okay? So I'm going to go into my Summer Bridge, represent and shout out to Canvas, my cohort 5. So go into your cohort 5, and under the Student Resources tab, you'll see that we have the financial aid resources, okay? And so what our committee has done is we have placed the estimated budget worksheet. It's a fillable form for you, so you'll want to download that. So go ahead and do that. We wanted to make sure that you're able to do that right now. And we do have a glossary of financial aid terms, just so that you all can understand when we talk about subsidized or unsubsidized, what does that mean? And we did do a link to the financial aid website. So please, we encourage you to review it, go over it, become familiar with it. On there, every student has a financial aid representative. And so Carson Williams did talk about, did show that to our students yesterday who joined, were able to join for the presentation yesterday for the Financial Aid 101 workshop. So please go ahead and take a look to see who your financial aid representative is. You can email them directly to ask about your specific situation, okay? And then we do also have a Immigrants Rising information for our students who fill out the California Dream Act application, the MAP. So let me actually, so for those students, let me make sure, I want to make sure that my sound is playing for you all. As I share this, we're just going to do a quick review of how do you access your financial aid award.
This is how you can find your financial aid award letter at Sonoma State University. First, you go to sonoma.edu. Then you go to login. You put in your username and your password. Once you're in, you're going to select My SSU. Then you'll select View Financial Aid. You choose the year. And that is how you can find your award letter.
Awesome. So that was from our student assistant, Yesenia. Thank you, Yesenia, for creating that YouTube tutorial. So what you'll need today for this session is, please go ahead and download the estimated budget worksheet. And then also you'll want to log in so that you can access your financial aid award. This will help you as we go step by step through the estimated budget worksheet. Okay. So I'll stop share. I see some questions in the chat. Or information. Okay. There's a question of how can we find who our advisors. I'll go ahead to the direct link for the financial aid representative and put that link in there, okay, for you all. And oh, thank you, Erica. You already answered it. Thank you. All righty. Erica, would you like me to share the estimated budget worksheet, or would you like to reshare? Yeah. Okay, here I have the I'll go ahead and share. Let's see here. Okay. All righty, and then Erica, since I can't really see the chat, if there's any questions that come up, can you please help to manage that, please? Thank you. All right. So Erica and I will take turns walking through each step. I'll go ahead and do with the first step. And so again, this is the estimated budget worksheet. Okay, and so having your estimated budget worksheet up, as well as your financial aid award, and I'm going to ask, I would love to have someone volunteer to do to share what they're receiving on their financial aid. award if someone doesn't mind. You don't have to share your name. If you can just send it into the, let's see, do we have a chat there? I like to use examples. Erica, do we have someone put it into the chat box?
Nobody has put it in yet.
Okay,
So.
okay. So I had a student who said that they'll share. So thank you so much for sharing. Let's go ahead with this first step. So look at your first step, and we'll go ahead and put in a. So you'll have your federal Pell Grant. So if you do receive a federal Pell Grant, then go ahead and put that amount in there. And Erica says that Erica has one. Erica, can you give me an amount for the federal Pell Grant, please?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Your patience is very much appreciated, everybody. Okay, so, all right, here we go. It is $6,345.
$6,345. So the cool thing about this is you can put in the amount, and it auto-populates for you and calculates for you. Okay. All right. So as a student, I have a federal Pell Grant of $6,345. And then Erica, do I have a federal supplemental educational opportunity grant?
Yes, it looks like we do. It's 4,000.
4,000. Okay.
1,000.
Oh,
sorry.
1,000. I'll say $4,000 is a lot. Okay, so $1,000.
I didn't know we were that cash money rich.
Yeah. So again, if you Erica, if you have a federal Pell Grant, please go ahead and put that amount on the top. If you have a federal supplemental educational opportunity grant, please go ahead and put that amount there. And it's okay if you don't have it. Please know that every student has a different financial aid situation. It depends on income. It depends on family household size. A good number of students are considered dependents, and so we're going to look at your guardian, or your parents' information. Others may be independent because they have their own dependent, right? And so every student's situation is different, and so what you receive, it's going to look definitely different from maybe a colleague or a peer in your class. Okay, so that's one thing that we want to make sure that we know and stress to you all. Alrighty, so I'm done with my federal grants. So I'm going to move into my state aid now. So Erica, do I have a Cal Grant B stipend or access amount?
Let's see. It looks like for Cal Grant B, we have 1672.
1672, perfect. And then in this part, you'll either have a Cal Grant B or a state university grant. The purpose of the Cal Grant B and the state university grant is to pay for your tuition, okay? And so through the state of California, the 23 campuses, tuition is the same. And what differentiates between each campus is the fees, okay? So you hear advisors, people say tuition and fees. And so Erica, what's the amount for the state university grant or Cal Grant B?
$5,742.
5,742, perfect. And if you are an EOP student, for first-time first-year students, regardless of filling out a FAFSA or a California DREAM Act application, all of our first-time first-year students receive a $1,000 EOP grant, okay? So does the student have an EOP grant, Erica?
Let's see. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So go ahead and put in $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I haven't seen, as I've been working with students, other grants in here. And so if for some reason you do have other grant that shows up, go ahead and put that there. Majority of you most likely won't have that. And then scholarships. Everyone's going to have a different scholarship amount. And so if you do know that you're coming in with a scholarship, whether it's, $100 to $5,000, go ahead and put in that scholarship amount. And this estimated budget worksheet is looking at the full academic year, okay? And then it'll break down into each semester. If you're following along, you can see here at step 4 that it's already kind of auto-populated for me per semester, okay? Go ahead, Erica.
So Ku, we have a few questions here in the chat. So I just want to make sure that I'm addressing as many as we can. So one of those questions is, where do other grants show up? Other grants, so any kind of grant that you get, it should show up in that financial aid award. Now it's scholarships, which are different, that may not, okay? Depending on where you got the scholarship from, it may not show up in that financial aid award. It's just money. Scholarship money is free, that is given to you. So you need to also assess that, okay? And then we have another question about Cal Grant A. So Ku, what is Cal Grant A? And I think the question looks like, it just says, does Cal Grant A count?
Yes, Cal Grant A does count. Typically for our students in EOP and Puerta, we like to work with the financial aid office to have our students get that Cal Grant A changed to Cal Grant B. Cal Grant A is based on GPA calculation, your GPA. And so I'll admit, I do not know the full details. They do have the information on the financial aid website. And so typically when we do see a student who have a Cal Grant A, we like to see if they're eligible for a Cal Grant B, because Cal Grant B or the State University grant will be better in the long run, in the long term, okay? And so if you do have a Cal Grant A, go ahead and put it into that Cal Grant B times slot here, Cal Grant B or State University grant. And then I would recommend that you connect with your summer bridge advisor, and then also you can connect with your financial aid representative or join in on the drop-ins today to see if you may be eligible for that Cal Grant B. That's what we would recommend more so than Cal Grant A. Mm-hmm. So thank you for that question.
Thank you.
But it's totally fine if you do have Cal Grant A, okay?
Yes. Also, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties for some students. If the worksheet is not populating for you once you put in your information, try deleting it and then re-downloading it. It should work, as long as you're doing it from the Canvas page. So make sure you're going into the Canvas page, and then you go to modules, student resources, and then you will see estimated budget worksheet under the financial resources, financial aid resources, okay? So that's where you can find that information, so try to do that. And then let's see here. Okay, so I think we are able to keep going. We do have a few questions about work study, but we're going to address it as we go. So let's not, jump in front of the horse, y'all. Just be patient. Let's work through it, okay? So just keep watching and learning in this tutorial, all right, everybody? Ku, if you'd like to continue.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll just, because that federal work study was mentioned, we do not put the federal work study into this grant and scholarship, okay? If you haven't had a chance to watch the financial aid presentation from yesterday, please do. It's been uploaded into the Canvas courses, and Carson talks a lot about federal work study for our students. It's not a grant. You have to work on campus in order to earn that money. So yes, you may, for those of you who do have federal work study, you see a $3,000 amount on your award. Again, you have to work in order to receive that money. So it's basically, the way I explain it to my students is, I'm an employer in EOP. If I hire you as a student assistant, and I don't have money out of my own budget to pay you, and if you have federal work study, then the federal work study will pay you as you're working in the EOP office. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Feel free to follow up with us if you have further questions about that federal work study. Okay, and so again, grants and scholarships. I did see in here, what if I keep getting emails about loans? again, the loan is it's there to help support you. You do not need to accept the full amount. You can accept what you need only. And as we're going through this, you'll see if you need to maybe take out a loan depending on your situation. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop with step 1 and ask Erica to do the next step, please, Erica.
Great, thanks, Ku. So here we are with step 2. So bills owed to SSU in the academic year. Okay, so the next part is going to be fees for the year for 2020, 2021. And what we do here is we take that full amount. What do you owe for the full academic year? Okay, and then we're going to go down into what you owe for the semester. So we start here at the big level and then we trickle it down. Okay, so if I could please get what the fees are owed, the full tuition. Get somebody.
And I have the amounts up here, Erica. I know I'm sharing my screen, but I'll go ahead and just go on the website to
okay, great.
Sure that we have the correct fees. And so, and I'll also put this into our chat box as well so that students can see the fees, tuition and fees. So the tuition and fees, what we know as of today, for a full-time student, let me look here, is $39.76. That's per semester. So let's do that calculation. $39.76 times 2. So that will be $7,952.
Okay, so
7,000. Can you all see my estimated budget worksheet again?
mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you. All right.
Ku, since you're sharing your screen and going through it, do you want to just kind of go through it and I can manage the chat since I can't actually?
Oh, okay. Sure, no problem. No problem. We'll tag team this together. Thank you, everyone, for your patience and flexibility. So again, the tuition and fees. This is for the full academic year for fall and spring semester. What we know right now is it's $7,952. Okay, as we're in this pandemic, there's been so many different moving pieces. If there's any changes to this, we'll definitely communicate that with you once we know that information as well. Okay, but for now, today, June 30th, the tuition and fees is $7,952. Now, if you're living on campus, okay, if you're planning on living on campus, there is a straight fee for fall semester. Okay, and so again, because this estimated budget worksheet focuses on just for the full academic year, we're going to add what we know the cost is for the fall semester if you're planning on living on campus. Okay, so let me again pull that up for you all to share the frequently asked questions in housing. So the amount that you'll pay for fall semester is $4,722 for on-campus housing. Times 2, right? So let's do 4,722 times 2. So the full amount for the academic year is $9,444. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put that in here. Erica, can you see my screen? My estimated budget worksheet screen still?
Yes, yes.
Yep, okay, perfect. Perfect.
Just getting into the chat. We have some students who are a little bit concerned, and I'm wondering if you could touch on this about the EOP grant. So some students are not seeing the EOP grant in their financial aid award. Now, is that because they did not have enough room in their financial aid package, or is it regardless? And we should talk to a representative.
Yeah, so if you don't see your EOP grant there, please do connect with your Summer Bridge advisor to let us know, right? And also you can connect with our financial aid representatives today between that 1 to 5 p.m. time slot. Mm-hmm. We try to make sure that all of our students have that EOP grant. There could be something that may have been missed in there, so we will please connect with us. Okay, your specific Summer Bridge advisor Usually as an advisor, what I like to do is work with my student and then follow up with a financial aid representative together. Okay. I see some other questions coming through. Are we still having a fall housing fee if we aren't living on campus this fall due to COVID? If you're not living on campus, then you will not have a fee, okay? It's for those students to put into this step 2 for if you're living on campus. So if you know you're planning on living on campus, go ahead and put in that amount. But if you're living off campus or at home, there's a difference. There's some students who, rent their own apartment off campus and they're not living at home. So the way financial aid, how they look at it is, are you living on campus, off campus, or living at home with a parent or guardian, okay? And so for those of you who are living off campus, go ahead and put 0 in there. That'll be totally fine. For this student situation, we'll go ahead and just add in that they're living on campus so that you all can see what this looks like. Alrighty, so looking at step 2, what I owe to Sonoma State is $17,396, okay? Now, if we go back up to step 1, you can see that my grants and scholarships add up to $15,759, okay? So off the bat, I already know that I'm gonna have to pay out of my own pocket for SSU, right? And so looking at step 3, again, it should auto-populate. If it doesn't, feel free to, do your own calculations, handwrite it in. So because my box 2 is greater than my box 1, you see here box 2, whatever the greater amount is, you put into the first box here, and then minus the lowest amount. So I know, again, the $15,000 is my grants and scholarships. So I'm going to owe, I'll check mark this here, I'm going to owe Sonoma State out of my own pocket $1,637, okay? And so we're going to split that. I'll walk over here to step 4. We're going to split that between 2 semesters, since this again is the full academic year, right? So what I know is 1637 divided by 2 semesters, I'll pay $818.50 per semester, okay? And so this is the part where, as a student, you're able to connect with your parents or your guardians. You can decide, okay, do I need to take out a student loan? And if I do, then how much do I need to take out? Okay. Or you know what, I'm working this summer and I'll be able to, save this $800, or you've been saving up knowing that you may have to pay out of pocket, right, for your education at Sonoma State. So, I'm paying $818.50 for fall semester. Now, if you recall, when you put in your enrollment reservation deposit, and you also put in your housing down payment, for those of you who are planning to still live on campus, this subtracts that total, that money that you put in will be applied towards your fall semester, okay? So I paid $50 as an EOP or Portha student for my ERD, and I also put in $100. So let me go ahead and put in, if you put in the amount for each student is going to be different, and so I think majority of you would have paid that $150. Some students, maybe you were admitted into EOP or Portha later, and you had already submitted your enrollment reservation deposit and housing deposit. That's going to look different for you, okay? And so again, work with your Summer Bridge advisor, and we can look at your account activity to determine, okay, how much did you put in for your enrollment reservation deposit and how much money did you put in for your housing, okay? So I'm going to subtract that $150 from that $818.50 just for fall semester, okay? So does it auto-populate? No, it doesn't. So I know that for fall, $818 $818.5 divided by minus $150, because I put that down already. I put that money up front. So I know that for fall semester, I will just pay 600, what was that amount? $668.50. Okay, so that is my fall semester that I owe. Okay, now for spring semester, you're going to owe this $818.50 because, again, you didn't put any money up front, right? And so just know that for spring, that amount will be the full $818.50. Erica, would you like to add anything in there?
Yes. So I'm looking at the chat, and I believe that a lot of students are kind of confused. And I think part of it is they're not actually watching the tutorial. So a lot of the things that you're asking, we go through in the actual tutorial. And if you read the budget worksheet, you can find out what you need. But for those of you who are interested, a lot of students are asking about, okay, one, I'm not planning on living on campus for the fall, but I want to in the spring. Okay. So for that, you are not going to add in the housing cost for on campus because you're not planning to live on campus for the fall, okay? So I wouldn't do that, and I also wouldn't be thinking too much about the spring at this moment. That's going to be something that you're going to want to reiterate again and do over again with the estimated budget worksheet to see if you can afford to live on campus for one semester, okay? Or if housing is open and what's going on there, if you can actually apply for it for the spring. So there's a lot of unknown factors there. So I would just put that you are living at home and not actually add in that housing cost for the fall because you will not be using it. So you want to see, the whole goal of this is to see what you owe for the fall, okay? So there's that. Another question was if you've added in the wrong numbers to the worksheet, you can just delete the numbers and then redo it with the correct numbers that you have in your financial aid package award letter, okay? So make sure that you're doing that. Let's see. Let's see. It looks like we have some questions here about meal plan. So Ku, could you please talk to the students a little bit about does housing include a meal plan? Is it still mandatory with everything that is going on in our social climate at the moment? How is that working? And then also, how is work study working for the fall, if you know?
Sure, yes. And Erica, since we did a sample for on-campus student, we can also do a sample for off-campus to help for those students who are living off-campus, because I know a good majority of you are. I did see a question about what if the number is negative? Well, we'll talk about that. Yep. So for on-campus housing for the fall, there will not be a mandatory meal plan, okay? And so typically for our first-year students who are living on campus, there has been a mandatory meal plan. However, for the fall semester, I don't know what spring looks like, just like what Erica is saying, because there's so many different moving pieces with this pandemic. But for fall semester, there's no meal plan, okay? And so the fee that you see here, that $9,444, right? Particularly for that $47.22 for fall, that is without the meal plan. Okay. So thank you for that question. And then for federal work study, again, I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Please watch that financial aid presentation because Carson and I do talk about it in our presentation. Right now, we are working with the Career Center. In the past couple years, they have been doing a part-time job fair. And so with the uncertainty of fall semester, campus, we do hire a lot of students. Our students, are, the backbone, they help support us in all of the various different offices, departments on campus. Since we are in a remote setting for fall semester, we don't know what that looks like as far as hiring student assistants. There may be some hires, but not to the magnitude of when we were all face-to-face, right? And so as we get more information for the Career Center, we will communicate that with you all, and so that you can know, what positions are offered, if any, for fall semester. Any student assistants that we hired for summer, we had to get approval from the president's office, and so things are looking. Things are different in this remote pandemic that we're going through. But just know that, as soon as we get information, we will send it out to your SSU email. So please make sure to check your SSU email on a daily basis. So I hope that answers your question about the federal work study. And I know that there is a timeline of when you need to have a federal work study job by. That's typically in early September. But again, with this pandemic going on, there's a lot of uncertainty as far as student employment. Okay. Anything else to add to that, Erica?
No, I think that's great. I think part of it is really just making sure you're checking your resources and staying up to date, because again, as Kua said, this is an ever-evolving situation that none of us have control over, and we don't have the answers. We don't have them all. We're doing the best that we can with what we do in the moment. So we're kind of living that day-to-day lifestyle at the moment, okay? So what we're asking is that A, you be patient, and B, that you be responsible. Make sure that you are checking your emails, you are checking notifications, that you are going to the SSU financial aid website for updates, or you're going to the REACH website for housing updates and things like that, periodically. Definitely making sure you are doing your part in this, okay? Because as Kuz mentioned, and as you all know, this is an ever-evolving situation. We don't know all the things all at once right now, okay? So I think that's going to be key for your success in making sure that you understand where your financials are. Is keep up on it, be responsible with it, and keep checking back, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Erica. So, so we did a sample of a student living on campus. Let's look at what does a student look like who is living off campus. And there was a question in the chat box that asked, well, if I had put on my FAFSA that I plan to live on campus, but now I'm planning on living off campus or at home with your parent or guardian, will that affect my financial aid award? It depends. And so what you'll need to do is go back into your FAFSA and update your housing plans. So if you're planning on living off campus, then go ahead and make that change. You can also notify the financial aid office and just let them know that I was planning on living on campus, but now I'm planning on living off campus. What are the next steps? What do I need to do? Okay. And so you can email the financial aid office and work with the financial aid office there. All right. So I'm not going to change. So let me go ahead and do, so I'm going to remove, because I know that we do have report the students who don't have the EOP grant. So let's take away the EOP grant. Okay. So that's going to change my amount for step one. So I have the federal program, I have the state aid, and maybe, I don't know, I'm just going to throw in there. I'm receiving a $500 scholarship, a one-time scholarship for fall semester. Okay, so I'll just add that $500 in there to my aid. So you see the tuition and fees stay the same. That's the same for all students, whether you're living on campus or off campus, and this is full-time fees, okay? And I'm gonna put 0 because I'm not living on campus, all right? So, again, all I owe to Sonoma State is $7,952 because I'm living off campus or I'm living at home with my parents and guardians or with relatives, right? You see here, my grants and scholarships, I have $15,000, right? Roughly $15,000. So I know I'm going to actually receive money back. Hey, that's amazing. So let's look at step 3, okay? So my highest amount is from box 1, which is my grants and scholarships. and then minus my lowest amount, which is the tuition and fees. So I know that money is coming to me, okay? So broke it down between 2 semesters for fall. I put in, so I'm going to receive about a $3,653 refund check, okay? Now, I put in I had put in $150. This is always the part that gets tricky, and no matter every year as I do this, it gets tricky. So I already put in $150 as a down payment. So that already went towards my tuition that I owe, right? And so let's add that. So it's going to be, sorry, I have like so many different things up right now. So 3653. And Erica, someone who's a math major, I always say I'm not a math major, okay? So you should expect about I want to say you should expect about $3,800 as a refund check, okay? Now, if there's any math majors out there and I'm doing this wrong, please let me know. But I know for sure I'm going to get a refund check, okay? So if you do have a negative amount, then that means you're receiving a refund check coming to you. Now, again, one thing that Carson talked about and that we always stress to our students is make sure that your mailing address in your student account is up to date. I know that we've had some students, their t-shirts have been returned during summer bridge because they moved. And so please make sure your mailing address is up to date, because if you do not sign up for direct deposit, then Sonoma State will send you a hard copy check and send it to your mailing address, okay? So if that mailing address is not up to date, guess what? Someone is receiving your refund check, right? And then if you are not able to obtain that refund check, then we'll have to do a stop payment on that check and reissue a new check, and that can take, a couple of weeks. And so please make sure that your mailing address is up to date and your permanent address on Sonoma State. I know that our bridge leaders can share that information. How do you change your address and update, as well as your summer bridge advisors, okay? So for those of you who are living off campus, again, the only tuition, the only fees that you're paying is your tuition and fees. And so expect to receive a refund check. And please also know that spend your money wisely, right? This is to help support you in your college journey at Sonoma State. And so you have books, Carson talked about budgeting. Make sure that you are budgeting. What do you need as a college student? I know that some students, may need a laptop, and so you may use this to buy a nice laptop that will last, 4 to 5 years, right? Or to help pay for gas, or your housing expenses, so that you don't have to work as many hours throughout the academic year. Erica, anything else to add? Did I miss anything?
No, you're doing great, Koo. So I'm just answering questions in the chat. So if you're interested in looking at payments for housing and whatnot, you can go to the Reach Office website. I put it in the chat. You could look at the frequently asked questions and kind of start exploring the rates and whatnot. You can also talk to your financial aid representative as well and talk about payment plans if you need to do that when it comes to how much you owe for tuition and housing. So make sure that you are communicating with these folks, okay? And then the other thing is making sure, I did see something in the chat about, what was it? It was, where's that other question? Let's see, for fall payment. If we pay the ERD for the fall, but the payment has been moved to spring because we chose not to live on campus in the fall, do we still put that $150 in the estimated budget worksheet? So if you paid the $150 deposit, which is for housing and your ERD, and you are no longer planning on going to live on campus for the fall, you can go ahead and get that money refunded, that $100 that you paid. So you can get that refunded. I would absolutely do that because, again, who knows what spring looks like. You don't want to be like, yeah, let's just defer that. Like I think it might be best if you decide on what you want to do when spring comes. Okay, so make sure you are doing that as well. And then I know that there was one thing that I'm missing. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Disbursements and refund checks. That's what it was. So as we had talked about, your financial aid award will disperse to the account first. So how it works is the money dispersed to your tuition and fees and your campus housing if you are living on campus. Okay, once that is paid, you will be getting either a refund check or you will owe money. Now that disperses during the first week of classes. So you should be getting a refund check right around the first to second week of classes, okay? So if you are expecting a refund check, that's when you will get it. And then making sure that you are on a payment plan for when you need to pay those your fees and tuition if you owe money to the university, okay? So.
And I'll just add to that ERD for fall. Giselle, that's a great question. We just don't know. I would, to be on the safe side, you can just put in that $50 for your enrollment reservation deposit, and not counting that $100 for housing, just because we don't know if they're going to apply that $100 for fall or spring. I'll follow up with the Reach office just to find out how they're planning on doing that, and we'll follow back up with you all. And there's also a question, will the money automatically disperse? Yes. So you all, for those of you who do have a full financial aid package, you don't need to do anything. The financial aid office, they have disbursements, and like what Erica said, they'll disperse that first week of classes, and so expect to receive a refund check or a direct deposit if you sign up for direct deposit. I would recommend that you sign up for direct deposit now because it does take time to set up, and usually takes about a month or so. And so if you do have a checking or a savings, go ahead and do that now. And in your to-do list on your student account, there is a direct deposit, and it gives you the steps on how to sign up for direct deposit. So thank you for that question. And
one more question. So we got another question for students who are looking at their financial aid award and kind of panicking. It says 2021 on it. Where's 2020? It's the 2020-2021 academic year. So yes, that is correct. The year that it shows is always for the spring semester because it's taking into account the full academic year. Okay, so just FYI, you're all good. Your financial aid is not for next year, it's for this year, okay? So just wanted to reiterate that one.
Thank you. And then there was another question of, what if we have already said on the housing survey that we like our deposit to move to spring? Can we still ask for a refund? Yes, you can, and I'm just gonna share with you all now. Today is the last day to ask for a refund, for a full refund, okay? And so as long as you email the housing, so it's housing@sonoma.edu, okay? Put that into the chat box. Let me put that into the chat box here. Housing@sonoma.edu. Go ahead and email them if you'd like to get a full refund today. If you don't, after today, you have until, I believe it's July 15th, to still ask for a refund, and it will only be a 50% refund back. After July 15th, you cancel, you will not receive a refund, okay? And so again, the Reach office just sent an email yesterday, so please check your SSU email. What if you asked for a refund, but you want to do housing? Go ahead and email housing@sonoma.edu. Please check the frequently asked questions. They do have a frequently asked questions, and so I'll put that into a chat box there too, okay? Great questions, you all.
Awesome. Yeah, just make sure that you are reaching out to housing. So again, what Ku was saying, email them, let them know your plan immediately. If you're looking to get a refund back because you are no longer living on campus or planning to, make sure you do that today. Last day, y'all, deadline, do it, okay?
Thank you. And just an advice for the students who are receiving a refund. speaking from experience, I received a refund when I was a college student. And I was so excited because growing up low income was like, this is a lot of money and I didn't have to really do much. You know, it's money that came to me to help me with my education. I went and bought myself a really nice, expensive outfit, which I wore probably like 1 or 2 times. And so I don't recommend that you do that. Please, budget wisely so that you can plan for, things that may come up unexpectedly, right? And again, right now with the pandemic, we just don't know, how things will shake up in the fall semester and the winter time as well. And so, if you are receiving a refund check, go ahead and plan accordingly. And I know that there was a question earlier about if I owe money, can I pay everything up front or can I do monthly payments? Yes, you can definitely do monthly payments. Typically, for students who owe money to the university, it's because they're living on campus, and housing does have monthly payment plans. Okay, perfect. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing. I know that we're over time, but is there any other questions out there? And I recommend to please, for the specific housing questions, please email housing because they are the experts and they have the most up-to-date information there. And also go ahead and refer to the housing website and the frequently asked questions that was shared in the chat box there too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I received a private message. What does expected family contribution mean? So expected family contribution is when you filled out your FAFSA or your CADA, it was what your family was expected to, or what was calculated that your family could contribute to your tuition. Okay, so if your EFC was 0 or if your EFC was a certain amount, that's what that means. So they're basing, for dependents, they're basing that, even independents as well, but majority of you, I'm sure, are dependent, where you're using your parents' financial information. That information is what's being used to calculate your award. Okay, so that's what that means. So you can, I shared earlier to find your financial aid rep, I shared the link. You can find it and it looks like Ku has already sent it again, so that's great. Make sure that you're looking at that. Again, it's by Alpha Sort, so you can contact your representative by your last name. That's who your representative is. That's your group, and that contact is there, okay?
Perfect. And for students who receive, so I do have a question here about, so any type of scholarship, please make sure that you put that into that step 1 in the grants and scholarship area. So go ahead and put that amount. Sometimes students receive, so like for some of you, you may be a wine industry scholars programs recipient, and that's it's a $10,000 for up to 4 years. And so we'll break that up into $2,500 each academic year. And so if you do have a scholarship that for 4 years you receive a big amount, just break that up between the years and put that in the scholarship area.
Okay, so also in your student portal, don't panic. You probably see right under your schedule, it says that you owe a certain amount of money, that you owe $3,943. So remember when Ku went over the estimated budget worksheet and she calculated how much she owes for the academic year? Well, if you divide that by 2, it should be $3,943, okay? Which is what you owe for the semester. Don't panic. You're not paying it now, especially if you have your financial aid award, it will disperse for you. So that number is just there. You don't have to stress on it unless you actually owe something after disbursement, okay? And even then, you don't have to pay until after it disperses, okay? So again, you want to talk to your financial aid representative, talk to them about a payment plan if you can, talk to them about all that good stuff, okay? So make sure that you're reaching out.
Perfect. All right, thank you so much, Erica. And I know that you, as more questions come in, please connect with your Summer Bridge advisor about your particular situation. And again, we have our financial aid reps today starting at 1 p.m. Please refer to your Canvas page. And if you don't have a financial aid award, please connect with your Summer Bridge advisor and we'll work with you to see what's going on with your situation. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We will also put this into the Summer Bridge Canvas courses so that folks can have access to it. Thank you for your time.
Ku, quick question. I'm curious, a student, Jaylene, is she EOP? She's an EOP student, do you know?
I can check. I can check. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jaylene, I think is what the name is. I was trying to answer her question or their question,
Okay.
but they already took off. It's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I can check and then we can go from there. Yeah, awesome. All righty. Erica, have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye. Thanks, Ku.